Hey everybody, welcome to Trans Central Station. My name is Clark. I'm your Fridays. And this week's topic is coming out. I personally have been out and openly trans for about almost 9 years, and uh, I have almost full support from both sides of my family and full support from my friends. Um, when I first came out, I came out to my friends, and almost all of my friends accepted me and were totally behind me. The ones that weren't, I just stopped talking to, and they stopped talking to me, so it wasn't that big of a problem or an issue. Um, and I really don't think I could have made it through mm, telling my family without my friends. Um, so about a year after I came out to a lot of my friends, I tried to come out to my family, and they they weren't so supportive. Um, it was difficult. I tried to tell my mom by leaving a packet about the trans community and how to know like to how to know somebody is trans. I left that packet on the top of her laundry hamper. Uh, and the next day she comes to me and she says, I love you regardless of who you are, and gave me a hug. And I told her, the name I preferred, which is Clarke, with an E. And because I asked her once what I would be called if I was born biologically male, and she said Clarke with an E. So I picked that to make it a little bit easier on her and feel like I respected her. Um, the next day she comes to me and goes, "I can't do it. All I've ever wanted in my life was two beautiful daughters, and that was taken away from me." And that kind of crushed me. Um, made it hard because I would fight with my family. Whenever I heard my birth name, I would, feel depressed and I wouldn't want to do anything. And I just want to be anywhere but home. Um, until my 17th birthday, they gave me the amazing and priceless present of calling me Clarke and he, and male, just male pronouns in general. Um, and since then, they haven't messed up really. Maybe about like once a year. My sister really never messes up, and is like my biggest advocate. Um, she was the one that went with me in nature, like gave me all my rides to my appointments, to start tea, stuff like that. Um, but coming out to my dad's side of the family was a little bit different. They are very religious and very like Southern values kind of deal. Um, my dad and I were not on speaking terms since from 12 to 18 years old. Of course, he knew I was trans before I told him because my sister was like, "By the way, your daughter's not your daughter anymore. Your daughter's your son, and his name's Clarke." And so by the time we started talking, he knew. He made the effort to call me Clarke, and he would slip up on the pronoun, but he would apologize every time he did. And when I went to go see him a month before he passed away, he even had a little sign up made for me, and it was like, "Welcome, Clarke, go Pittsburgh Steelers," and stuff like that. And it made me really happy to know that he is making the effort, even though we don't have the best relationship and all that. But my grandmother, my dad's mother, very, very religious. And I was very afraid because I hadn't talked to her since I was 11, but I started talking to her when my dad passed away. Um, it was hard because I knew that she knew that I went by Clarke, but I didn't really want to talk about it until I was like, you know what? She's going to be ignorant about the subject. She's not going to even know what's going on unless I try to explain it and try to educate her on, the trans community. And she asked me one time, "Do you think God's okay with this?" And me being not a religious individual, in the sense that I believe in a higher power, um, or God, or whatever, I put it in words that she would understand. I said, I don't think God would have placed me on this earth to figure out who I was if he didn't want me to overcome all these obstacles, to be stronger, to, accept myself and have other people see me as I see me. And she agreed, and she was like, you know what, I think he is testing you, and he wants to see you succeed. He wants to see you overcome all of this. And it not being religious, that was really sweet to me. Just knowing that, something she regards so highly, uh, usually that doesn't usually agree with the trans community, she's putting that aside and just listening to what she doesn't really want to hear, uh, but what she knows she needs to have me in her life. And by putting the little God part in there, I think it made it easier for her. But you know, I really don't think I would be alive if I didn't come out. And coming out is hard. I'm not saying it's easy, and you're not guaranteed to be accepted. Because I definitely wasn't accepted by people who didn't know me in my school. I got harassed and physically, emotionally, and I had to drop out of school because of it. Um, it's it's those few people who accept you and are gonna stay by you through the whole thing that make it worthwhile to be who you are. So if anybody ever needs help or questions, or has questions for me, go and ask them in my Tumblr. Ask. I'll put a link down there, or you can ask at the collab blog, or you can just leave some comments here. I hope everybody has a good weekend, and I will see you next Friday. Bye, guys.